What up? You know what it is. It's the Charlie Newhart Show, man. Like and subscribe if you like real content. If not, you know what you can do. You can get off. I want real people only, real subscribers. You like plastic people, go to their channel. It's a ton of them on YouTube, man. Go listen to them. Talk about nothing.
If you'd like to see girls in plastic, watch my channel.
Yeah, you watch Langston's channel if you want to see girls in plastic do stuff. But if you like plastic influencers, get off my channel. For real, go mess with them, man. They, I ain't mad at them, but this is only for the real, and I love the interaction, man. You know what it is. My homie's here. Langston's in the building.
Hello, everyone.
You know what it is, man. Look, we got some very interesting discussions to have today. Okay, we're gonna talk about Steve Jobs sandals. We'll talk about a time that the helicopters and the sheriffs surrounded me one time. I got a really interesting story about my cousin and toilet paper. And we talked about Cool Drown last week, didn't we? Cooley drowned?
Yes, we did.
Dude that drowned in a very cool way. I'm going to bring that up when my guest gets here. Talk about Cool Drown. And I want to talk about Steph Curry a little bit too, a little later on. But so look, if you got any questions, you want to be roasted, askcharlienewhart@gmail.com. You want to get my comedy special. It is called I Am Dirtbag Special and Book. You can get that on my website, ilovecharlienewhart.com. Check it out. SourceTruckingAcademy.com. Most schools is charging like $3,800. $8,000. I'm sorry. They're charging like $8,000 for you to go. This school, Source Trucking Academy, $3,800. In as little as 2 weeks, you can have your license and be making six figures. So, SourceTruckingAcademy.com. You want me to write a commercial for you? Same thing. askcharlienewhart@gmail.com. Yeah, man. So that's the soft intro.
Charlie, before we go, I have a question here.
Yeah, what is that?
What is the significance of this whole particular getup?
This is really this is some hood shit right here. You check it out. They're completely matching. If y'all need drip advice, take a look at a real nigga right here. You know what I'm saying? Get a pan down. Let them drink it all the way in. See how the shoes is matching completely with the rest of the fit. Look at this. And just scroll up. Pan the camera up one time. Langston, you see that?
Technically, that's called a tilt up, but I'm not gonna.
The tilt up or whatever it is, tilt it up on a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? These are Cartier glasses, and all my people from Detroit know what time it is. And I'm not gonna keep these on for the entire episode because I'm gonna let y'all look into my beautiful eyes. But right now, you get this type of swag right here. And yeah, you know what it is. Stay tuned.
Give it up for Charlie Newhart! Come on!
What up? Yeah. We back. All right, so look, I want to get into Steve Jobs sandals. They were just recently sold at an auction for $218,000. Somebody paid $218,000 for Steve Jobs sandals. How do you feel about that?
There's two sides to that.
Yeah.
One is that buys a lot of entertainment in a Southeast Asian country, and the other is, wow, you could do a lot of good with that.
You know what else you could have did with that $218,000 instead of? Because that's really just a promotional piece or a bragging piece when you go to somebody's house. It's like, man, look what I got in the cabinet. Them are Steve Jobs sandals, man. You want to smell them? They smell like the iPhone 5. Look, so I brought a special gift today. I brought my sandals. These are the Moses 3s, the Jesus specials. I wore these in a play. I was in a play at church years ago where I had to, I was playing Jesus in the play. These were the sandals that I bought. You can get these sandals from me right now. What do you think they're worth? Would you pay $218,000 for these sandals? $100,000. Send me $40. Everything's for sale. I sell the shoes off my feet. Cash at me $40, man. I send you these sandals. They smell like baby mamas and despair, with a little bit of LA entitlement and a hint of urine right here.
That's very LA.
LA smells like urine and entitlement, just flat out. As soon as you get out the car, what's that smell? It's a homeless man who dares people to hit him as he crosses the street because he wants a lawsuit. That's what these smell like. They've touched LA soil a little bit. It's a power mix of Detroit and LA soil. These sandals are multinational. So, multi-state. You need to get a hold of these, man. Send me some money for my sandals. Would you pay $200,000 for Steve Jobs sandals?
Hell no.
What about $1,000?
I wouldn't pay shit.
Give me them shits.
Fuck, I need some sandals for like I'm some weirdo. Like,
The shit that people buy when you get that amount of money. Like, come on, bro. $218,000. Let me tell y'all this helicopter story. So, 2009, I spanked one of my kids, right? Somebody called Protective Services on me. They came and shut our daycare down and took the kids out the house. So my son went to live with his mom in Atlanta. My daughters went to live with their mom in Alabama. It was a tough time. Charges ended up getting dropped and all that, but the judge basically took all the kids out the house to investigate. So after he dropped all charges, he said, yeah, just go and get your kids. I was like, man, come on, I need an order. You sent them there. I need an order to get them back. He wouldn't give an order. So basically, I'm fighting to try to find my kids now. And I ended up finding my son was like secretly calling me from Atlanta, like, man, Dad, where you at? When you coming to get me? When you coming to get me? He was trying to come home. I couldn't find him. I would go down there, couldn't find him, didn't know where he was. And I remember one day he called me and told me what school he was at. He called me and told me what school he was at. And I had plans on going out to the school. And then a few days after that, his mom called me like, yeah, you can come pick him up, but you got to meet me here. It was all these stipulations. It sounded like she was trying to set me up. I didn't really believe it.
right.
So I remembered the phone call with my son. Like, I remember him telling me where his school was. So, dog, I flew down to Atlanta. And because it was an interstate battle, it was like she basically took my son to Georgia and then filed paperwork that I had abandoned him. Right. Even though in Michigan, they allowed her to take temporary custody while they was researching what was going on. What she did is she went down and said, oh, I've had my son for weeks. I don't know where his father was at. She didn't tell him about the Michigan case. So she filed abandonment charges. So basically, it was an interstate battle going on. So when I flew down there, I went to his school, and I was like, yeah, I'm just here to see Charlie Shreve. You know what I'm saying? I want him to come down and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they sent him to the office. And when I seen him coming to the office, I think I just ran out the office and grabbed him and then ran to the car. I jump in the car. The teacher's like, no, no, no. My son's laughing. He's laughing because he's seeing the teacher running. She got a horrible run. She don't have the body type to run. You know what I'm saying? So we jump in the car.
She's not built for this, Charlie.
She's not built for this. We running. We ain't even running. We slow jogging away from her. We slow jogging away from her. He
Brisk
laughing.
walking away.
Yeah, it was just a brisk two-step to the car. We jump in the car, man. Shout out to my Aunt Lori. She was there with me. And we jump in the car. She was just like, oh, my God, what are you doing? I said, go, drive. I'm telling her to hit the gas pedal, but there's people in front of her. She was like, I can't hit the people. I'm like, go around them. She stabs on it. She's such a soldier. She stabbed on it. I'm looking back at Charlie like, yeah, I got you. F the system, blah, blah, blah. Boy, man, I don't know. It was so fast. It was helicopters above us, and we got surrounded by the police.
So you got 5 stars. Full GTA 5 stars.
Oh, I got full GTA 5 stars. Like, damn, we got to turn around. They on the speaker. Turn around and go back to the school. My auntie looking at me like, nigga, why you didn't tell me you was going to do this bullshit? Why you put me in there? I saw the look on her face. We go back to the school, and I tell them what's going on. I'm like, look, man, I'm in this interstate battle. I'm just tired. I got custody of my son. Here's the paperwork. But he was, you know what he asked for? He asked for what I asked the judge for. He said, do you have an order that says you can come down here and get them? I said, no, the judge wouldn't give me one. He was like, so let me call the mom. He called the mom. Make a long story short, I had to leave him there. He's like, until you get this interstate issue handled, he said, because she filed paperwork that you abandoned him here. And I'm like, really? But I got custody. He said, it's an interstate battle. You got to hire a lawyer. I'm sorry. She wouldn't let him go. And I'm watching my dude cry. You know what I'm saying? I got to send him back home. I got to go home. I'm in tears. I'm mad at the motherfucker. But make a long story short, I ended up hiring an attorney. This Polish lady. She was a pit bull, bro. So she basically contacts Atlanta. Then she gets in touch with the Michigan court. She gets a trial date where the mother has to get on the stand and say, like, why didn't you release? What's this? Make a long story short, this lady she was a pit bull. She was like, only thing I'm going to do is get her to show her character on the stand in front of the judge. That's all I'm going to do. Just sit back and watch. Man, she started hitting her with rapid fire questions. Why you this? Why this? Why that? And then she just blew up on the stand. Got the cussing and shit. And then the lawyer looked over at me like, this is what we wanted. Make a long story short, they just gave me custody right there on the spot. The judge was like, I'm ordering you to return Charlie to his father immediately. You got 48 hours. We'll be issuing a warrant for your arrest and this and this and this and this. And I'm just sitting there like, whew. And we're going to actually order you to pay support too after you send him back. I remember seeing my son. Matter of fact, he was there a day later, man, and we must have just hugged and cried for like 10 minutes, man, because he had been calling me every day, and I was like, Charlie, this is your opportunity for you to build a relationship with God, because he was like 8 or 9. He was just like, Dad, I don't understand why I can't just come be with you. Why? What is going on, Dad? Why you can't just come get me? And it was breaking my heart. I was like, son, you have to talk to God right now and tell him what it is you want. I said, because I'm doing everything I can on my end, but I need you to pray and tell God what you want, and you keep praying until it happens. So, because I realized this was not just about what I was going through, but this was a journey in his faith walk as well.
Right.
Man, I ended up getting custody back of little dude, man. It was such a great victory. When you go through those victories, especially when you have kids by somebody, and at one point y'all was cool, and now y'all beefing, and then this person's throwing the kids in the middle. It's so painful to a father, but it's really unfortunate for the child when a mom is not emotionally strong enough to just be there for their child and not take the bullshit between the two parents. Right? Even if a man is doing it, like, you never put the kids in the middle, dog. Never. So if you're doing that shit, cut it out. If you're putting your kids in the middle of your domestic situation with your spouse, your significant other, just realize that child is going to grow up one day, and you do not want a child that's going to grow up and resent you or deal with other issues because you're putting this child in the middle because you can't control your emotions. Cut it out.
I'm laughing because you know my situation right now.
Yeah.
It's like literally a fucking mirror to yours.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm just like.
That's one of the reasons I'm saying it, because God is on me like, man, this is share this right now. Share this right now. He need to hear this, dog. It ain't, no matter what it look like now. But also, too, I really reestablished my faith in that season. And I ain't trying to preach to you, but like, I really started praying. I really started being a part of something bigger than me, because it was like what you were saying earlier. I felt handcuffed. I can't do nothing. That's why I'm just the kind of nigga, like, I just showed up to the school and took him out. Like, oh, okay, this is what y'all doing? Give him here. And if the helicopters wouldn't stop me, I would have left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just that type of person that I'm just like, I'm used to just getting shit done. But when I'm in a position where I'm handcuffed and I can't, that's when I literally started journal writing, spending time with God, going to church, and it was just like, when I made God bigger than what was going on, the moment I stopped looking at it and I was looking up at him, that's when he handled everything for me. Because the Bible says that God perfects those things that concern us. So I got a really interesting story. I grew up, we got spankings growing up. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing to do something and get out of line and get whooped. I mean, that was part of the game. So I remember it was some cousins. I had a cousin over my house this one time, and my dad was like, he was the type of person, if you cut up and you at the house, all y'all gonna get it. Everybody gonna get it. Now, you a cousin, you a family member. It was agreed as a parent. You drop your kid off at our house, he gonna get whooped if he out of line. You know what I'm saying? So we 8, 9, 10 years old or whatever, and one of my cousins, we all got in trouble. Me and my brother and my cousin, and I had this bright idea and my dad was like, you know what? All y'all go down to the basement, wait on me. Y'all all getting whooped. It's like, oh, man, here it is. That was the dungeon. Like, go down there. You getting ready to get whooped. We cut up. I forgot what we did. So we go down to the basement, and I was like, I suggested to my cousin, I said, man, dog, we should put toilet paper in our pants so we don't feel the whooping. Toilet paper on the back. He was like, all right, cool. So I put the toilet paper inside my pants. I lightly patted my shit, though, on the ass cheeks, a couple pieces so I wouldn't feel the sting. And he goes, we had a bathroom in the basement. So he goes in there. He in there a long-ass time. My dad's coming downstairs. I'm like, oh, shit, my dad getting ready. My man need to hurry up and come out the bathroom. So he comes out the bathroom, and, dog, he turns to the side, and I look, man, he got so much toilet paper in his pants. He looked like he got on a Medea. He looked like he had a BBL.
TP BBL.
He had a TP BBL. He had on it looked like he had on a Medea bodysuit, dog. Dog, he come out the bathroom, and it's a little bit of toilet paper hanging out the top of his pants. And my dad saw him. He grabbed him. He was like, boy, what is wrong with your behind? Man, it looked like a bad BBL. His ass was crooked, man. I couldn't believe it, dog. Man, my dad snatched that toilet paper out my man's pants. Like, pull your pants down. My man got that straight to the underwear whooping. And while he's over there getting worked out, I'm in the corner pulling the toilet paper off my shit. Like, I don't even want him to discover what I got. I don't want none. I don't want none. He came over to me. He was like, what you got going on, Charlie? You got no, I ain't got no toilet paper. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Wow.
Dude didn't talk to me for a week, man. Like, but who told you to make a BBL out of toilet paper?
I mean,
you overdid it, my nigga. Clearly you don't like pain, but I mean, like, it looked like he had a diaper on. Fucking, I love
why
it.
you have to run checks on your crew. Make sure people can understand.
Hey, but I love his passion and his energy, though, because it's like, shit, if I'm going to do it, I just don't think he had enough time. I don't necessarily know if he meant to put that much, but I think he was running out of time. Like, oh, shit, let me run out here. He ran out here. Motherfucker had a BBL when he ran out. Like, oh, okay. You getting ready to get tuned up. Shout out to everybody out there that's making a BBL before they get whooped. Maybe they do. What if they do that in Singapore when you have to get whooped in public? Motherfucker get caught.
I think they hit you like on your back and shit, don't they?
Ooh. Oh, that's fucking hectic, dude.
Like you get like a real, it's like not on your ass, I don't believe it. I think it's like on your back or like your leg. It's somewhere that's not cushioned.
It's somewhere where it's not cushioned, where you feel it. Where you absolutely feel it.
Oh, definitely.
My oldest daughter is 27. She just turned 27. And when she was younger, this was like we grew up together. I had her when I was 18. So, you know, by the time I'm 19, 20 years old, she's 2. She's with me all the time. This was like my best friend. She was with me everywhere. So she listening to music I'm listening to. I had an old school caddy, and I'm listening to Master P all the time. And I got her in the car, and she's just bobbing her head. I ain't thinking about the lyrics and none of that shit. I'm a 19, 20-year-old dude. And I remember I pulled up in the driveway one time, and I'm listening to the sounds, and I cut the music off, and this 2-year-old, or 3 or wherever she was, however old she was, as soon as I cut the radio off, she was like, only time will tell, nigga. If I die, go to heaven or hell, nigga. So, I can't listen to this shit with her in the car no more. She running back Master P lyrics verbatim, like, God damn, man. That's... Shout out to having kids young, man. Your kids grow up with you. My kids is like my best friends, man. My oldest kids. We didn't all grew up together. We all seen it all. I got so many stories. So we talked about Cool Drown already, right? All right. If you want Cool Drown, I think that was the previous episode.
Yeah.
The one right before this.
12.
If you want to know who Cool Drown is, you need to tune into that episode. I want to give y'all some. I need to give everybody some pointers on Airbnb and renting out rooms. Okay. Pandemic season, you know, in a tough economic situation where it looked like my bag was being interrupted, I rented out some rooms in my house on Airbnb. This was years ago, right? Rent some rooms out Airbnb, rented some rooms. I had some of the most incredible experiences ever in life, right? So you need to, like, I've had houses that I've bought and rented out before, and I had a process. Like, not only do I do a background check and run your credit and all that other shit, I'd go out and look at your car. See how you took care of your car. You know what I'm saying? I'd look at the interior, look at the car. Like, if you took care of your car, I'm like, okay, well, this person to take care of my space. I ran this lady through all the checks, Langston. background, references. I looked at her car. Everything was dope. And she had a little boy, right? So I rented a room out to her. And shit was cool for like a month or two. And then right around Thanksgiving, I was supposed to fly to my parents' house. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, don't leave. I didn't get on the flight. I didn't leave. And I'm glad I didn't, because an hour after I was supposed to leave, her son came out of the room crying and knocking on my door like, something's wrong with my mom. You got to come and see what's going on. I was like, oh shit, man, what's going on, bro? He's like 8.
Right.
Crying hysterically. Dog, I open the door to the room. His mom is rocking back and forth and humming. I was like, oh shit, this bitch is a basehead. She's on drugs.
Was that it?
Man, bro. So her son was like, I can call my grandmother and you can take me to her. You know, so I called and talked to the grandmother, and I was like, you know, what's going on? She told me like, oh yeah, she's been off and on meth for years. And I was like, oh no, dog. What? I missed this? Are you kidding me, dog? She was like, yeah, she's been on drugs. She said, but I haven't seen my grandson in 2 years. She said, you can bring him to me and, you know, do whatever you got to do with her or whatever. I was like, you don't want, she was like, no, I can't do anything with her. She said, it's been an off and on battle for like 10 plus years. And so I took her son to the grandmother. And when I got there, bro, the grandmother had a bunch of other little cousins. They hadn't seen this little boy for 2 years. Everybody's crying. It's like a reunion. They welcome the little boy in, they hug him, and everything's cool. And I get on the phone with somebody, and matter of fact, it was Natasha, because Natasha had ran like a rehab home in Detroit for a while. She owned a home. So she walked me through every step. She was like, look, she's on meth, all right? Meth is synthetic. She's going to be high for 4 or 5 days. You need to get back home. If she violates, you need to kick her out immediately. She walked me through all the steps and shit. Dog, I get to the house, and she gone. She hasn't even called me about where her son is, nothing. She gone. So I just started taking the shit out the room and putting it on the front porch. So I put it on the front porch, and right when I got to the tail end of it, she comes to the house. Don't even ask me about her son. She was like, what are you doing? She had that bottom jaw popping. What are you doing?
Oh, God, yeah.
I was like, I'm kicking you out. You're on drugs. I'm not on drugs. The whole time, my daughter's at the top of the stairs, taping the whole world star. She world star in the moment, like, I'm not on drugs. I said, yeah, you are. You high right now? I'm putting all your stuff on the porch. And she looked at me like, all right. And then she started helping me move her shit out. Never asked about her son. None of this shit. Like, you done forfeited your money, your deposit, all that shit. Put everything on the porch. She jumped in her car, rolled off. That shit stayed on the porch for like 4 or 5 days. And then all of a sudden it was gone. Never asked me about her son. Her son was calling me every other day. Have you seen my mom? Have you seen my mom? You know if she's okay? Man, my heart was broke. I had blocked this little nigga. Like, man, I don't know where she at, my dog. But I'm going to tell you one of the signs that I pay attention to now that I missed before I let this lady stay with me. She was missing a whole rack of side teeth, top and bottom on one side. Like this whole side was gone to the middle. So she was literally chewing over here on this side. So that was what I missed. Like I got the car, I got the references, I got everything. But if you're missing a whole rack of side teeth, you're missing a whole rack, it's a problem.
Do they not have meth heads in Detroit? Or are they a different sort of build?
It's more
it's a cold weather build out
the
there.
cold weather build. It's more heroin addicts, more crackheads. It's meth addicts, but they're more rural. I haven't interacted with a lot of meth heads until this point. Like, I don't know, bro. I was just like, well, maybe, if you're 40 plus and you're missing a whole rack of side teeth, you haven't had the wherewithal to be a part of a good dental plan, you probably on some shit, some drug shit. And that's how I look at it now. So I'm grateful. Now I'm talking to a motherfucker, man, they want to do business with me. And if you're missing a whole rack of side teeth or you got mouth grits, like, don't be missing a rack of side teeth and you got mouth grits. Like, I'm sorry, man. I can't secure this bag. I can't secure this deal, man. Well, why? You pull up in a Bentley and show me a $2 million in your account, But if you missing a rack of side teeth with mouth grits, I ain't doing business with you.
That 2 mil could be gone by the time.
Shit
by
be
that
gone. Like you found out you done stole the Rolls Royce. This ain't even your account. Like, no, this, I feel like missing a rack of side teeth is an indication of shady character. That's where I'm going to stand because I saw that bitch in the bed. Didn't ask about her son at all.
Accurate.
It's roommate shit. It's something serious, so y'all be careful. If you rent out a room to somebody and they got all their credentials, but they're missing a rack of side teeth, you need to pass. I'm going to tell you another situation I had with a roommate that was fucked. I had this lady move in. She had just started her job, so I asked her for 3 months ahead of time. Well, since you just started your job, I need 3 months up front. She paid me the 3 months. And same thing. I got references, found out her job, didn't do a background check on this chick. Nigga. She's staying with me a month. I'm on vacation. She called me and just on a rant. I don't understand why you this and this and this and it's just ranting about everything. And you're stealing. And you're this. And I was like, man, what the fuck? Hello? Are you calling the right person? She called me accusing me of all of these falsities. This shit, it was just so weird. And then she said, but this is what I've decided. You're going to give me back all my money. Because this is what she said. This is what God told me. You're going to give me back all my money, and you're going to let me stay here rent-free for a year. I was like, oh, God told you that? Yeah. So I'll see you when you get back from vacation. I'm like, this bitch hit me with this while I can't even enjoy my vacation. I'm like, I got a crazy bitch living in my house. So I get home, and she got the same narrative. Yeah, you're going to let me stay here for a year. And I'm like, okay, right. Sure, for a whole year. That's what he told you. I just started praying. I called everybody I know. I was like, listen, I got a crazy person living in my house, man. I need y'all to start praying, for real. And I called a group of people, and it was literally a week later. And then what I found out, too, she was in her room. She quit her job and just started drinking every day in her room.
The job she just got.
The job she just got. She quit the job and in her room drinking every day. And I'm noticing that's like a trend out here with people. Like, I only want people to live with me who are working professionals. You got to be out the house because there's too many dynamics. You need to be gone. But what happens is these motherfuckers get in here, nigga, and they be working and then quit and then stay in the room all day. And I've always had problems with people who just want to be in their motherfucking room all day and don't want to leave. This bitch is drinking and shit. I had to call like, man, I need y'all. And literally a week later, she called me and said, yeah, God told me to leave now. Thank you, God. Now you're talking to God. She literally left like a week later. I had to call and tell everybody thanks. Like sometimes, man, listen, the prayers of the righteous avail as much. Sometimes it's just your prayers, not anything that you could possibly do. And nah, man, I'll never get into another roommate situation ever again in life, especially since this last situation, this lady, man, who was staying here, dog, she, after staying here for like 2 or 3 months, sent me like a 6-part text message professing her love for me and shit. Like, I just love you. And I was just like, what the this is awkward, dog. You got to go. I haven't had one kind of interaction or exchange with you at all. You in love? And I thought something was funny because, like, every time I was out of my room going into my kitchen, I'd hear her coming out of her room going in the kitchen with this worst smelling perfume on the planet. Like, this bitch stinks, man.
Worse.
Fuck, man.
Bad.
Why are you always in the kitchen when I'm in the kitchen? I'm not. I don't. And you 100. And the nerve of you, the way she looks, you a million miles out of my league. Like, you're very bold, incredibly hard on the eyes, my nigga. Are you kidding me? I'm done. I'm done with roommates.
That's why she was showing you she had skills like writing.
Respect the writing skills. Listen, if you are renting a room to someone in your home, make sure they are a working professional. Make sure they're away from the house. And there has to be a clause in the contract. The moment they stop working, they do that work from home shit, I'm telling you, it's a problem. You need to be away from that shit. No work from home. If they're missing a rack of side teeth, you know, to leave them alone. If there's weird, especially if you're a man and you're renting to women, if there's weird eye contact, romantic vibes, you might want to be careful on that too. Like, I keep it all the way 100. I don't shit where I eat. So everybody I've ever rented a room to, they can't point to no text. I've never said anything inappropriate, never done. I don't even come out of my room with a shirt off. You know what I'm saying? I put my shirt on. So be 100. But also, too, it kind of works in your favor if you a dude and you're in a room out to a woman that's not attractive. You ain't even going to be tempted to do nothing at 2 in the morning. Like, man, you know goddamn well I wasn't trying to fuck with a bitch that's missing a rack of side teeth. So it kind of worked out.
She's sitting on the bed like she's possessed.
I couldn't believe it, dog. Like,
The Exorcist?
I'm not a judge. Hey, is our guest here? Yeah. No. Maybe so. Whole rack of side teeth. Be careful.
I had a roommate that got arrested for
give me that.
smuggling guns.
Ooh, straight up?
Yeah. And I had another one that got arrested for smuggling E or dealing E.
Dealing E.
Yeah, that was fun.
Nigga. That sounds like a motherfucking...
I'm not going to lie, I ratted that bitch out so fucking bad.
It's hers, not mine, guys.
The cops, okay, I left my house, driving down Hollywood Boulevard, because I lived in Hollywood at the time. I was literally going to the fucking grocery store.
Right.
3 black and whites pull me over. Pull me out of the car. I'm like, you have to tell me. They're like, no, we don't. So I'm like, oh, this is some real shit. Get taken to Hollywood Station, right off of Wilcox, if you know the area. Walking in, I see said roommate in a holding tank already. And I'm like, oh, what is this bitch up to?
Oh, shit.
Because all she did was stay in her room with the door closed.
Right.
Right? And basically they bring me into a room and they're like, start asking me questions. I was like, can you not waste my time? Like, I'm already on probation. Like, what do you need to know? I owe none of these people anything. And they're like, we have permission to search your house. I'm like, flip this shit upside down. Just don't say anything about my weed.
Right.
Turns out this bitch literally had one of those bad movie suitcases full of ecstasy pills and like two what do you call it? 2 Glocks.
Straight up.
Yeah.
She was trapping.
And I'm like, oh yeah, take this bitch away. Like, no, like this is supposed to be Squaresville in here. Like,
Right.
You don't get to run your little operation out of here. And anyone in the comments is like, yo, you knocked him out. Yeah, because unless you tell everybody in the house what you're doing, you don't get to put other people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
put other people in danger.
Yeah, when you're working like that, you don't get to just be like, oh, this will be the trap house and not tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like, no, fuck you.
Did she have her side teeth?
Huh?
Did she have her side teeth?
Oh, she had plenty of other shady things going on.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't my house, so I had no say. She was a housemate, but I already knew that she was on some weird shit. I just thought she was a tweaker.
Yeah, get this bitch out of here, man. This bitch is a basehead. Did you know that? Did you know that tipping, waiters, waitresses, shit like that, service industry workers, tipping was introduced as a way to exploit the labor of former slaves? No wages. So the tipping industry we have right now was invented so slaves, when they were working as wait staff, typically was for black people, waiter, busboy, all that type of shit, working in the service industry. So they pay them no wages. So basically it was like, whatever I want to give you, boy, that's what you gonna make. And that's how tipping started. So the fucked up thing, even now, later on, 27% of black workers 27% of these industry workers are black workers in poverty, and 37% of them are women. So this industry and you think about it, most people that work in the service industry, they make way less than everybody else. So if the minimum wage is $20, they're making like $8 an hour.
They normally make minimum wage.
They make minimum wage?
Normally.
Yeah, but their amount now, most of them, I know in Michigan, I can speak for myself. In Michigan, I was working for Prospect Airport Services, which was a service industry, like bellhops, porters, people who work on the curb. I worked for Prospect, and the minimum wage at the time was like $7 an hour. I was making $2 and something an hour.
Really?
Yes, at this time, because it was considered service industry, but they were like, since you're getting tips, you don't get to make what everybody else makes. And most people, I'm not sure how it is here in California, but in most states, the service industry workers don't make minimum wage. They make way less. I was making $2, and that's why my child support was so low on everything.
I'm sorry,
I was making $2.52 an hour when the minimum wage was $7, because they was like, you getting tips. You getting tips.
But tips are taxed, so fuck you.
But that's what it was when I was working. And in most service industry, I don't know how it is in California, but in most service industry, and y'all can let me know if you fact check in the comments. But I know for sure, and you're talking about late 90s. When I worked for Prospect, I was driving the electric cart. I was working in baggage claim. I was basically a service worker, and I worked for tips. And because I worked for tips, my wage was $5 less than minimum wage.
Wow. Damn, I need to go back and look.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how it is in California. Y'all check it out in the comments. Let me know. But I'm pretty sure that if you're a waiter or waitress and you work in the service industry, you making less than minimum wage.
Damn. This is going to sound arrogant, but I never actually really even remember what my paychecks look like because I murdered it on tips.
Murdered.
So, like, I didn't matter where I was.
I used to stack them checks. Like, fuck them checks.
I was like, oh, yeah, it's payday today? Right, I guess. But
that was one of my favorite jobs, man. Working for tips. Because it's like I start the day with no money. Like, you know, I got to hustle up on this. Make $300-400 in a day, $200-300. I was making so much money working at Prospect. Oh, it was the best. Not only that, man, it was like badass flight attendants coming in and out of the airport, flying me around the place for free. Until I got caught one time. One time I got off the... This chick I was talking to, she worked for Northwest, and she flew me to New York. But we flew into Jersey, and then from Jersey we was gonna take the taxi over into New York. And nigga, we get off the jetway in Jersey, and her boyfriend's waiting with his arms crossed, and I just watched all the blood leave her face, and I was just like, oh. She told me it was broke up. I'm expecting to go out there and be treated to a shopping spree and a performance session. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm like 20, 21 at the time. You know, I'm in prime fucking years. You know what I'm saying? I get off the jetway. This nigga's there with his arms crossed. And she was like, oh, yeah, this is Charlie. We grew up together. Because she was like 10 years older than me and shit. This nigga rolled with the narrative, but stayed with us the entire time. He paid for the food. He paid for the taxi rides. He paid for everything. And then in the hotel room she got it, I ended up having to sleep on the couch when he was in the bed with her. He like, yeah, nigga, I paid for the shit, but I'm fucking tonight, nigga, not you. He stayed with us the whole time.
Wow. That is
It was pretty strong, pretty sweet. Shout out to Northwest Airlines in Prospect. I had a blast working there. It was one of my favorite jobs, man. And I flew into the airport the other day, and a lot of them niggas are still there, man. Good people. Yeah,
whole time?
The whole time. Not only that, nigga wouldn't let me touch my pockets. No, I got you. I'm like, oh, thanks.
What the?
Appreciate that. But he knew the narrative, man. He knew if he stepped away for an hour, she was getting tore down. Because I was hoping at any moment, like, well, maybe the nigga don't come to the hotel. Maybe I smack there. Like, no, that nigga was walking right in, too. Like, hey, you cool, man? Towels and shit, you got everything you need?
You want to robe?
You want to robe and shit, man? Don't walk around this motherfucker with no shirt off, nigga, and hoop shorts, okay? Make sure you keep your clothes on. That nigga was with us the whole time, dog. All right. We'll take a break, man, and see what's going on with my guests.
Give it up for Charlie Newhart. Come on.
What's going on? Let everybody know who you are and where you from.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I live here in Venice.
Yeah, where you from originally?
Oh, I'm from Pennsylvania, PA.
P-Town. What part of P-Town you from?
I'm from State College.
Nice.
Yeah, Penn State.
I know where that is, man.
Yeah.
First question, right off the rip. What year was Larry Hoover president?
Hoover. Oh, 1920. 1920.
Okay.
Final answer.
Final answer, 1920.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Larry Hoover was not a president.
Okay.
And he is the founder of the Gangster Disciples. Just look in the camera and say, free Larry Hoover. Look at the camera and say,
Free Larry Hoover.
There we go. We're getting white people to say it, so we're good to go. All right, so what position do you play?
For basketball?
Yeah.
Allen Iverson, he played point, right? I play point.
Oh, point guard. Oh, Allen Iverson is your guy?
Yeah.
What's his famous statement that he said while being
We talk about practice.
Come on, talk about it. I'm going to give you the mic. Look into the mic and give that whole speech.
I can't
do
do it.
Allen Iverson.
Practice? We talk about practice. That's it.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
I mean, it is an unfortunate thing about like having to work on shows because I remember even even when I get a good gig and I'm like, okay, I got a budget for an assistant. Who can I call depending on this?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you got to
saying?
be able to. I love that. Dave Chappelle said that. He said most black people are bilingual. We can speak urban and we can speak job interview. And you got to be able to have both. And I'm blessed that I know I have that. That's why people, how you get on all those commercials and how you do like, I know how to speak job interview. You put a suit on me and cover up tattoos and you want me to use my real estate voice to get the bag? Nigga, action. But I use that in business too. I saw my mom do that all the time. She'd be cussing us out. Y'all little niggas sit down and answer the phone. Hello? Yes. Mom know how to navigate, but I feel you. When you hire somebody and you know you're going to be around upscale clients, you know this is like a high dollar shoot, all these cameras, all your equipment, and it's a huge budget shoot. How selective are you with bringing motherfuckers? You can't bring everybody.
Nope, cannot. And it's an unfortunate reality of just being in the entertainment game, but it's something I had to learn at a very quick story is I remember having to choose a boom operator and I had a bunch of experienced people, but I had another younger choice. And I was like, you know, let's just bring this younger cat. He seems pretty cool. Yeah. And I wound up having to fire him.
Wow.
Because I was getting complaints from adult stars that he was too creepy. So let me just tell you, if an adult star who lives in a world of creep feels the need to go to the producer and be like, that guy is creeping us out, there's a problem. And he's a sound guy.
Nigga was
no
eyeball captain. Yeah, that's crazy. Damn, because and it automatically becomes a reflection of you. Like you hired this nigga. Mm-hmm. You brought him in to see a reflection of you, or you also a perv.
Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh no, he was just somebody I was trying to give a shot, you know, trying to give a younger guy a shot, and no.
That's one of the. I tell anybody, if you're trying to start off in being in front of the camera, you should be an extra for a while, and learn how to be comfortable on set. And I'm grateful. I was an extra on Detroit 187 back in like 2010, 2011. For the whole season, I was a detective in the background, just fake talking. You know. But I got so comfortable on set and I learned behavior on set and I watch people do some real stupid shit on set and they get weird with the stars and I'm just, at the end of the day, that person, when we at craft services at the same time, we both put our pants on one leg at a time. We both got the same 24 hours in a day. So I'm not going to be enamored because you don't know who I am. But at the same time, what I use it at that time of being an extra is time to learn. I would ask real questions once I got comfortable with, man, listen, you know what I would do? Everybody that was on set that was a star, I would research their backstory. I'd know damn near everything about them the last 10, 15 years. And people love talking about themselves. So after a period of time, I was just on some, man, listen, that was dope when you won that Tony Award for such and such play.
Ah, genius.
Oh, and their fucking face would light up. Really? Yeah. Man, dude, the production, the script, and it was really powerful when you blah, blah, blah. Man, put mustard on the hot dog, my nigga. And then at that point, once I give, then here comes a withdrawal. But you can't get a withdrawal unless you make a deposit. So I make a deposit. Man, what do I need to do to get to your level? And so many of them. I got some of the greatest game from, what's the dude name from Sopranos that's still alive? He played Spider on Goodfellas. Forgot his name. Michael Imperioli. He was one of the lead characters on the show. And I researched his, like he had a theater company in New York, and him and his wife was doing plays. So I did some research, gave him that compliment. Then I just asked him flat out. I was like, Mike, what do I need to do to get to your level? I'm an extra. I would love to book a role in a show. He said, what are you doing right now? I said, I'm doing like this acting for TV class. He said, what's that? I said, I was doing an acting for film class. He said, there's no such thing as acting for film. There's just acting. He said, this is what I suggest you do. He said, I would suggest that you do a stage play. Do a play. He said, but also, too, what you should be doing every week is you should be reading plays and interpreting plays. And are you doing that? I was like, no, that's why I'm asking you. I appreciate it. Immediately, I start reading plays and interpret them. I got a play from the library. I'd read it and interpret what I thought the author was saying. And then I got into a play. I did To Kill a Mockingbird. I was playing the nigga with one arm working who got accused of raping a bitch. And I started doing more plays after that. And he was right. I was interpreting plays, reading plays. And then I did some plays at the Detroit Repertory Theater. and I won like Best Actor award with these plays. And then from there, it was like I booked the role Chicago Fire, PD.
Right.
All the other stuff came from doing the work, but that just came from me just being on set and not being a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? And just because honestly, I think, and I teach my kids this, like everybody's here, even you, Langston, everybody is here because we have something to give to the world. But we run into issues when we look more to get than give. So with me, when I walk in a room immediately like I'm here to give. What am I going to give? Either I'm going to give a compliment, or I'm going to give a positive thought to somebody, or a prayer. I'm always giving in when I walk into the room. So I never leave a room feel depleted because I'm not walking in a room to get. And I think that's ego. When I see people walking in the room and I'm like, motherfuckers don't recognize me, man, I played a diner number 3 on Seinfeld. These niggas better recognize, like, no one knows you, nigga. I'm diner number 3. Like, people walk in the room expecting acknowledgement. Do you ever be around like a comedian or an actor, they got a few accolades and their behavior is, nigga, so yeah. I'm like, I want to dispel that myth. I'm walking in and I'm almost surprised. Like I did a show a week ago in Glendale. Man, there was niggas in there talking about, dog, man, I'm a fan of this and that and this. And I was like, man, who are these niggas, man? This is uncomfortable. I don't know these people because I'm so used to going in the room and I want to give. Man, right. I like them shoes, man. Man, it's dope. And if it's not just and I don't want to be plastic, so sometimes I just don't say shit. I'll just be thinking something positive. Lord bless this person. I don't know if they got a family or not. Bless them. I'm always giving when I walk in a room. And I think that's what helps keep me. I had to learn that, but that's what keeps me humble. I pray every morning when I wake up like, God, I don't want to go out to accomplish and produce. I want to go out and acquire knowledge and be pruned. So all day long, I'm just listening for God to speak through people. And he can speak through anybody. He could even speak through the person that's missing a whole rack of side teeth. But if they got mouth grits, I can close my eyes and listen, but I don't have to look to your mouth. Most people don't know how to behave on set. So that was just a long-winded version of set behavior. And I was just giving Langston his props earlier because it's like he's a consummate professional. No matter what he got going on in life, no matter how tired he is, it's just like, bro, we're going to be filming 7 a.m. on a Sunday, which is a time that nobody else is really filming. He was like, nigga, I'm there. And let's get it done. And when the cameras and lights come on, he's just consummate professional. These are the kind of motherfuckers you got to have in your corner, dog, if you're trying to do real shit. Acts 28, 1-6. This is one of my favorite verses because Paul is shipwrecked. They basically made a navigation mistake and they were shipwrecked and they were landed on an island called Malta, right? So they hit this property and Paul's just trying to make the most of it. So while he's there, he's helping the people on the island like, all right, well, we here, we shipwrecked. Let's make the most of it till we get rescued. Let's make a fire. So he's trying to make a fire, and in the process of making a fire, a snake comes out of the fire and bites him on the hand. And he's like, okay, so I don't want to be here. My ship is wrecked. I just want to help people. Now I got bit. Paul was such a G. He just shook the snake off. All right, let's just keep working. All right, we got business to take care of. So the people, this goes to show about public opinion. Because first the people were judging him like, see, he shipwrecked and he got bit by a snake. He did something wrong by God. But Paul was a prophet. And I want to say this, and I heard a pastor say this before, I forgot who it was, but like don't allow people to judge you through their lens on what you're going through right now. Because all of us is going through something. I'm going through something. Langston going through something. The problem is when people see you going through something, they assume that they try to attach all this cause and effect to it. Like, yep, you see that? Your tire exploded because you called someone such and such yesterday. And it's like, come on, man. Every single thing in life ain't just karma. It could have just been the tire was old. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then the Bible said that the reason dude got bit by a snake is that the snake was driven out by the heat of the fire, and then it bit him on his hand. It had nothing to do with, oh, you know what, the reason is because he shouldn't have been doing this, shouldn't be doing that. Like, this is to my neurotic people, all right? There is a such thing as something just happening by chance. Do you realize that? It's not just you know what, the reason he shit his pants is because, like, come on, man.
all right, you guys, he's clearly in the Illuminati. He's trying to throw us off. We know the truth.
Like, quit with the whole, like, man, is that nigga in the Illuminati, man? What the fuck's going on, man? I did have a nigga. I got a text message probably about a year and a half ago, dog. I don't know what the fuck it was. That shit. He said, yeah, man, if you trying to get into the Illuminati, then do this and this and this and this. And I was like, what the fuck, nigga? I didn't even respond. I just deleted it. Like, man, I don't know if this is some nigga playing games or what, but.
See, I would bite. I'd be like, oh, yeah?
Right. And then immediately right after that, like, you seen Pulp Fiction where Ving Rhames is in the back waiting on Zed to fuck him in the ass? That's how you get into the Illuminati, nigga. Nigga, I ain't joining. Y'all can have it. Would you take that ultimate power?
What do you mean?
What if they told you, look, okay, it ain't the Illuminati, but it's something very close to it. And you have ultimate power and control, unlimited money. Any issues you dealing with people, all those issues would immediately go away. Everything you need would be, and you just signing this contract right here. It's not Illuminati, but it's something similar. Everything you need, money, finance, everything is here. But what we need is, we're not saying that you need to be involved, but you're going to be in the room while another nigga get fucked. But you just sign the contract. That's it. And somebody might touch your shoulder while it's going on.
Somebody might touch my shoulder?
Touch your shoulder. And they may have you hold the camera while it's going on. And,
all right, well, now it's sounding like work. So.
Nigga, I don't want no parts of none of that. You not getting me in no room. Fuck that, dog. Even if it's just, nigga, I don't even want to watch that shit. Like, nah.
I've already been subjected to things that I did not sign up for. So if this is going to give me money and power, then
Some weird shit.
There's an ends to this means, because there's been more than one producer who didn't tell me what we were shooting that day.
And then you get there like, oh no. I had a chick offer me 10 bands. She said her husband wanted to give me 10,000 to hit her while he watched. And I already knew once I crossed that bridge, I was just like, if I do that, then what else? But I had to play, I played with her mind a little bit. I'm like, really? She was like,
I've already done that for free. So can you direct me to where this person is?
That shit, it just got weird because she walked up to me like, that's my husband, and he owns a jean company. She said, he wants you to wear his jeans. I was like, I'm not wearing that nigga jeans.
Wait, what? Now this is getting weird.
Exactly. I was like, I'm not wearing this nigga jeans. She said, no, not the jeans he's wearing. He owns a clothing line. He wants you to wear his brand. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, for real. She was like, well, let's have a drink. So we had a drink and shit. But he wasn't sitting with us. He was at a table near us, ordering the shit. It was pimp shit the way he was doing. He was ordering drinks and shit. And after the flirting, make a long story short, she was just like, 10,000. Come to the house, blah, 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 blah. And, automatically, I'm
going to send you these jeans first. You need to show up at the house wearing them.
Show up at the house wearing these jeans. The back is cut out.
These are our Prince edition.
This is Prince edition jeans. So, no, I was just like, she was like, he's not gay or anything. He doesn't want to, he's not going to be, he's just going to be in the room. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I'm thinking it's at your house. It's all these cameras. And I was just like, well, what's my guarantee that I'll just call him Stanley, that Stanley is going to stay in that chair during the performance? Because if he get up, I'm going to beat his ass. But I don't want to be fighting a nigga and I'm naked. Like, that's not a win for me. And I'm in your house with all these cameras. I politely declined. But then I told somebody else, can you imagine that? There's no way you win when you fighting a nigga and you naked. It's just.
I mean, you have very solid points there.
No way to win. That's why I never fight a gay dude. There's no way I'll fight a gay dude ever, nigga. You win, because in the midst of that scuffle, and the nigga grab your ass or something like, oh, nigga got you. Like, I'm down. Got you, nigga. I grazed your dick while we was fighting. Like, no, nigga, I never fight a gay nigga ever. You win. You win. But the 10 bands, I turned that shit down. Like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that shit, man. I'm straight. And niggas is looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, but somebody else told me this. I forgot. They said basically what that was is he wanted to own you. He wanted to be able to say, I bought this nigga. I owned him for a season. I made him do this. It's damn near like old school slavery type shit. Like, I bought this nigga. Made him do this, paid him to leave. And then not only that, if it's at your house, you got this footage. Like, look, this is Charlie Newhart. Look at him fucking the shit out of my wife. Son of a bitch. I was in there too in the room. I had a Spider-Man outfit on in the corner. I tried to get him to wear a Thanos outfit. He wouldn't do it, but I was fucking Spider-Man in the corner. It was great. Look at the video. Like, nah, nigga. I don't want that shit at all. So, I don't know. We just ranting right now. Goals. Just go to goals. This is what will keep you from making choices like taking the 10 grand to do that shit, or you become resolute in your focus when you take the time to write down goals and put them on your wall. All right, Habakkuk 2 verse 2-3 says to write the vision, make it plain, and the vision will speak. But when you don't have goals, you don't know where you're going or moral code, and I ain't judging you. I mean, if a nigga want to take 10 bands, I mean, you can put it in the comments. Maybe you would take the 10,000. I ain't mad at you.
His podcast producer would.
Yeah, he'll take the 10,000 while Stanley stay in the corner. You know, would you do it if Stanley's in the corner with a Spider-Man outfit on, just the top and no bottom? And he's shooting out commands. Turn her over, nigga.
Okay.
Would you let her hit you with the N-word? Flip her over, nigga, you fucking spook. Do it.
That's Stanley's got to keep his fucking mouth shut. All right? You can sit in that fucking chair and keep your fucking mouth shut in your weird little Spider-Man outfit.
What if he wants to give you extra 10 bands and just to be able to call you the N-word repeatedly during the session? Like, do it, nigger, you fucking nigger, do it. 20 bands?
Can I sock him in the face when he does it?
You get to sock him one time.
One time? Nah.
This is stupid. What'll keep you from doing that is that weird shit is morals goal. But have some goals. Write down some goals. 3 short term, 3 long term. Don't put them in your phone. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it on your wall, and watch how it speaks to you. Because eventually, you know, you'll stop making certain choices, or will make certain choices to get to that goal automatically, because that goal will be speaking to you. I know so many people, because we got to look at something outside of ourselves when we're going through. And for me, I got 3 G's: God, goals, and the gym. So I'm always trying to look at God, up at him, spend time with his word. I can't look at people around me because it'll make me want to choke everybody. I can't look at Stanley and Cindy trying to get me. I can't look at them. I can't look at this Spider-Man. I can't look at these people. I got to look up at God. I got to spend time with him and make him bigger. I got to get in the gym. I got to get a natural dopamine release in the gym. I have to go in there and get my testosterone. I got to get it all popping in the gym. And goals. I got to be looking at my goals. I can't look at you. I can't look at what everybody else is doing on social media. God, goals, gym. When those 3 things is really active, and I ain't going to sit here in front. Like, I ain't been in the gym in about 2 months. Took about 2-month break. And I feel like I got to get back in there. But when I'm firing on all cylinders, God, goals, gym, because we can never stop shit when it happens around us. But I can stop. The only 3 things I can focus on is my discipline, my focus, and my effort. Anything else ain't out of my control. But when I start making shit around me bigger than if the shit around me is bigger than God or my goals or getting in the gym, then that's when I'll be wanting to do shit like choke a motherfucker, or somebody fuck me over a transmission and I show up with something in my hoodie. That time I ain't looking at God. I ain't getting in the gym. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna shoot this nigga in his
Show up
ankle.
with a receipt, asking them to please
rectify this is the receipt. Give me that, or I'm gonna shoot you in the ankle, nigga.
With a BB gun.
With a BB gun. Well, this is an airsoft BB gun. And I got shot with one the other day. It was a real deal. Goals. We talked about tipping. I think it's equally hilarious too. I just want to take this time to thank everybody in the comments when y'all chop in, and people that's 100, because they outweigh. Because 99% of people who leave a comment, even if they don't agree, they'll state their point. We'll have dialogue exchange. It's healthy exchange. Not everybody agrees, but they say, I don't agree with this. And like I was talking about the intermittent camps the other day, like people giving me game. I love the interaction. That's what I love about YouTube. It's a real community. It's not, some of these other social media platforms, it's not necessarily a community. It's a, hey, look what I got. Let me see what you got. And then let's send direct messages to each other to try to fuck. You know what I'm saying? But YouTube is more like, it's a community.
And I took that personally.
Yeah, did you? Fuck you. It's interaction back and forth. It's, but the community is real. But some of the people in the comments, it's like 1% of people in the comments is like, he's capped, he's lying, he's capped. It's not true. And it's hilarious because it's like, nigga, who the fuck? Some of these stories, nigga, who the fuck lies about getting beat up in the 5th grade by Richard Covert, nigga? All these stories is real. So just be careful dealing with people who project, because most people that think that everybody else is lying, nigga, they lying. Because to the pure, all things is pure. I just think it's hilarious. He's capped. This story is not real. This is made up. Like,
I wonder what the effective use of stating that is. Like, what? Okay, that's cap. And like, I mean, because you're just kind of like you just got diarrhea of the mouth at that point. Like, you're just not really saying anything. Like, that's cap. No, it happened this way. That's cap. Like, normally there's something that comes after that.
Yeah, that's cap. And here's somebody who grew up with Charlie to confirm the real story. This is, or I talked to, or there's no way. Like, hey, I don't mind being like the intermittent and concentration. I love it when somebody, no, Charlie's wrong. It wasn't intermittent. It wasn't a concentration. It's intermittent. Yeah, you're right, dog. Sorry, I was wrong. But just, it's cap. That's a lie. It's cap. Like, dog, what kind of stories you got, nigga?
None, because you're clearly like a very basic ass person.
Either no stories or he the nigga that. It's nothing funnier to me than when the way a dude behaves and becomes interesting when a beautiful woman comes around. That's when you really hear cap. It's just me, you talking like, man, what's going on with a beautiful bitch? Like, nigga, I'm getting ready to head to the mall and get them new Gucci loafers, nigga. You know what I'm saying, nigga? I just pushed some money, nigga. I got 100,000 subs, you know what I'm saying, in like a week, my nigga. So, shit, I just got a check for like $2 million, man. You got change for $2 million? Nigga becomes interesting and performative when a bitch comes by. Like that, I think them the kind of niggas that think everybody is cap. It's that nigga that.
I'm the wrong person to be around if you're gonna do that.
Oh shit, you calling them out on it?
Oh, I start pulling chains, all kinds of chains, like relentlessly. Like don't do that shit around me.
Yeah,
I'm from LA. I'm from the home of fake.
Like, cut that bullshit out.
Like don't turn that shit on because I'll turn it off real quick.
Dog, I was getting a car smogged. One of these cars I'm trying to flip. I was in there with a female, and I'm just trying to get the car smogged. We in there chilling, and somebody I knew walked in, and me and him chopping it. I hadn't seen him in years, and his boss was with him. It was some used car guy. Man, he was so fidgety. Like, oh, okay, this nigga's a cokehead. Right off rip, this nigga is a cokehead. But he wouldn't stop fucking talking, dog. I'm trying to talk to the nigga that I know. But he saw the broad that I was with, and I think he was extra talkative because he saw her. She's pretty, you know what I'm saying? So he's trying to overpower the conversation and be all weird. And I'm just the type of person that I'm not even going to allow you to interrupt me. He kept trying to interrupt me. I just powered through what I was talking about. And eventually I was just zoning him out, talking to my homie. And, shit, I've had my dealer's license forever, so I can flip cars at will. But he's trying to pitch his car lot, this used car lot to me. Like, well, bro, you don't have to go to man. I finally had to just stop him. I said, man, I'm trying to talk to my mans, dog. Are you trying to pitch me to work at your facility? I said, bro, you know how much money I'm playing with? Why would I come work with you? Like, I had to stop him with that whole shit. Like, and then my man told him, like, Charlie, he's doing this and this and this. Like, my man had to run my resume to him. He was like, oh. I said, bro, I would never work at your lot, man. You need to chill. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm going out. That motherfucker left and went out to have a smoke. Quit the stunt talk. I'm going to call you. And why the fuck would I come work for you, fam? You read the room, my nigga. His social cues was off. I'm trying to remember if he had if he had all his side teeth. Nigga was probably missing some chiclets, man.
I don't know. Cokeheads tend to keep their teeth, I think.
Cokeheads, they tend to keep their chiclets. So, yeah, I don't know what my point was of bringing out the Paul getting bit by a snake. Oh yeah, just don't let people, if you're going through a tough situation, don't let people, judge that situation, because that same hand that Paul got bit on, sometime later in the chapter, he ended up using that same hand to heal somebody. You know what I'm saying? So they was judging him for getting bit on that hand, but that same hand he used to heal somebody. So sometimes what you go through will be a blessing for someone else. Just don't judge yourself in that time period where you're going through what you're going through. You got to just trust God. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good for those who love God, called according to his purpose. Sometimes we go through tough situations because God wants us to be closer to him as opposed to our agenda and what we got going on. So don't judge yourself in the process, man. Write down some goals. Quit saying cap all the time if you cap. And if it's cap, nigga, do you a podcast and tell your stories. Nigga, let us hear yours. That's the cancel culture, is the insecure and unfulfilled and people that ain't doing shit. You got such a problem with it, nigga, go out there and start your own channel.
But it's hard.
Yeah, but I want to, you got to get the camera, I got to get the lighting right and the microphones, and it's just so much easier for me to talk shit about other niggas because I'm a bitch. I'm a lame.
That was accurate, though. That's how it feels sometimes.
Fucking lame, man. I think that's all I got in closing, man. I just want to thank everyone. I also want to thank, man, I had such a great time around my family for the holidays, man. It was good, so good seeing everybody. And I love real conversation, because some people came up to me like, I'm telling the same stories I was telling when I had 200 subs. And now that the channel's growing, I got people pulling me to the side like, don't share this. Don't tell this story. Like, don't share this. Like,
so they're getting ahead of you and just making
they're
sure.
Getting ahead of me. Like, I got one family member who killed the nigga, man, and that shit was years ago. It's done and over with, and to try all that, but they don't want that story to get out, and I'm not. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And also too, if I tell stories, I'm gonna change the names, and you won't know the time frame, and like, I'm not out here just spreading everybody's business. But what I respect about my family is, man, they'll call me. Hey man, listen, love the show, but please don't share this story. Don't tell this story. And I'm like, all right. I just thank everybody for watching. SourceTruckingAcademy.com. Check them out, man. Most of these schools, $8-9 grand is what they're charging. And then they got you in school 5-6 months. You can be done at Source Trucking Academy in as little as 2 weeks for $3,800, and you will have be making 6 figures immediately. Check out SourceTruckingAcademy.com. Look, I got a book. You want to know more about me? I have a book and I have a comedy special. It's called I Am Dirtbag. It's an audio book. You can go to my website right now, iamcharlienewhart.com. Go to my website, get my book, comedy special. It's all one bundle pack, man. Support your boy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be going live here real soon. So, man, support the live. Yeah, man, you want to be roasted? You got any questions? You want to leave any comments? Go to askcharlienewhart@gmail.com. That's all I got, man. I love y'all because I love myself.
Give it up for Charlie.